Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
What? Dude. Fish on.
RowPaint.com is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. It's Coach Leon Rice and Andy Rowe.
Oh no. Want to just paint my house?
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing? Good morning, Boise State fans. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy July 3rd to you here at BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains with Bronco Nation News, and we got John Mallory, host of Prater in the Ball Game down there in the 95.3 The Ticket studios for his weekly Wednesday appearance as part of our partnership with KTIK. Hope you're following all of our social media channels. You got YouTube, Facebook, X, all the various ways. The easiest is on YouTube, and we'd love for you to help us get to 5,000 YouTube subscribers here before or during Mountain West Media Days. We're about 150 away. Of course, you can also make sure you're following the KTIK YouTube channel as well, and their social media channels. They have their daily video segment as well. So appreciate our partnership with KTIK. And Johnny, excited 5 days from today. 5 days we'll be boarding that Southwest flight, waiting for our limo there in Las Vegas to head to Circa for Mountain West Media Days.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be hopefully a kickoff for Boise State fans, Mountain West fans, where they can start to put the pieces together of this puzzle a little bit and really sink their teeth into a football season, BJ. And that's what media days are all about. They want to hype their conference, their product up as much as they can, so they give you a ton of access to get that to the fans. And I'll tell you, I mean, I know there's not as many Boise media members going down this year as there have been in past years, but Boise always represents down there in media days, at least in my experiences, and I've been to a lot of them. They always represent real well. I remember there was a game, it was a Mountain West basketball tournament, BJ, and I think you were there. I know you were there, but one of the SIDs from another school, they weren't getting people after their games asking a lot of questions. So they went over to a couple media members from Boise and they said, hey, would you guys sit in on this presser and ask a question or two? Because like the only people down there were Boise media members. So that's what it'll be like, I imagine, this year as well. We give good coverage, I think, at KTIK. We're working hard down there. You're working hard as well, BJ, and hopefully we can get everybody a full painted picture of what the league might look like.
neither paper is going to Mountain West Media Days this year, neither local newspaper. So if you want coverage of Mountain West Media Days, you're going to have to be listening to Idaho Sports Talk and watching Bronco Nation News and following our friends over at KTVB with Jay Tust as well. So yeah, I think by now the proof is in the pudding. Folks know where to go for their Boise State coverage, Johnny, and that's going to be the case again down there in Las Vegas. We're excited. We've got live shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week for Media Days. Tuesday, we get to get outside a little bit. You and I will be out by Stadium Swim doing the morning show. We'll take a look at some gambling odds and things and get the scene set for Media Days. You guys will be out at Stadium Swim Tuesday as well, doing your show from 3 to 6 next week. Tuesday at the Cabana there at Stadium Swim, and then we'll move inside Wednesday and Thursday for Media Days. And man, it got here quick. It already felt 5 days away. I mean, I'm testing equipment. I know you loved that yesterday live on the air when I was testing some of the equipment, Johnny. We got some big things planned for Media Days. You'll be a part of it. Prater's going to be a part of it. Jay Tusk's going to be a part of it. And I'm really excited, man. We made it happen. We talked about it. It wasn't just talk. We got it done. Mike Sanford will be at Media Days. And so looking forward to a ball talk at some point. Mike's going to jump in on some of the coach interviews with me on BNN. I think that's going to be pretty cool to get his perspective.
Yes.
There's two quarterbacks going to Mountain West Media Days. He's going to jump in on those. So Mike Sanford adding to the BNN team at Media Days. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Have you confirmed Will there? Is it official? Can you release the announcement too of the special edition of Mountain West Media Days Ball Talk?
Yes, it's happening. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. We got to find a time. We got to get the interview schedule out. We got to make sure nothing interferes with your duties for KTIK. But we will find 30 minutes at some point and get a special Ball Talk edition down there from Las Vegas. I also confirm, I was joking with Prater the other day, Johnny, but I think we'll try to sneak down to Barry's Steakhouse one of those nights. And I talked to Mike Sanford, and he said all in for that. So Sanford, you, Prater, me, heading down to Barry's. We'll invite Jay Tust, but I'm guessing he's going to be too busy. Jay never gets any free time down there. He's too busy getting ready for his 10 p.m. sportscast. But Jay works hard, man. Jay works hard.
I want to comment on that, but I'm just we got a lot to talk about today. I think
we got a ton. We've never had a more jam.
I'm not going down the Tustin Vegas road, but okay, let's do this.
Hey,
I'm ready.
Hey, Jay works hard, man. He does. But we're going to have a lot of fun next week. We'll tell you more about it, but I'll be on, KTIK. Both Johnny and Prater will be on BNN. We'll have our big live studio set up, and I think I'm going to try to pull it off, like you said, Johnny, to start the stream at 8 in the morning and keep it going as long as we can. So I'm going to have Prater jump in for 30 minutes. We'll have Tust for 30 minutes or so. We'll have Sanford for 30 minutes or so. You might pop in between interviews. We'll have some coaches, some players. We're just going to try to go, 2-3 hours straight, just interviews back-to-back, guests, fun, and just see what happens at Media Days. I think that's going to be fun.
Yep. I mean, some storylines too. Let's be honest. I think if you're a big Mountain West football fan, 7 coaches in this league now, over half of the head coaches will make their first week 1 start with their new team this season. I know that sounds kind of weird, but Spencer Danielson, this will be his first week 1 as a head football coach, his first full season as a head football coach. And with the news yesterday coming out of Logan, now you have Nate Dreiling taking that gig. 7, BJ. That's a crazy storyline, I think, down there. I know there's not a lot of marquee players outside of Genty that we can't wait to talk to. To me, this year, it's about the coaches.
Yeah, no, I know. I was looking at the list, man, and you go down the line of the coaches, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of guys having to wear name tags at Mountain West Media Days this year because, you mentioned it, Jay Sauvel taking over at Wyoming.
Could you point him out? Could you point out Sean Lewis? If I had them both right here, could you tell which is which?
I would assume they're wearing their San Diego State polo and their Wyoming polo, and so yes, I probably could. I could point out Sean Lewis. I know Sean Lewis, what he looks like and what he did at Kent State, and they're being there at Colorado. I'm actually very intrigued by the Sean Lewis hiring, and I like Ken Niamata-Olo at San Jose State. I think that's going to be a very intriguing hire, and I think that's going to be an interesting one. His son was a recruit to Boise State at one point. Was a commit, I believe, at one point to come to Boise State. I think that's going to at San Jose State. That's a very interesting one there. Bronco Mendenhall going to New Mexico, I think, is very intriguing, and his history with BYU and Boise State. There's some good stuff there. And then obviously Jeff Choate, at Nevada. And that's one that I'm hoping Mike Sanford sits in on BNN to get Jeff Choate talking a little bit. And how much is he going to open up about interviewing at Boise State and wanting that gig not once but twice, and then getting the Nevada gig, and how big of a game is the Boise State game going to be for Jeff Choate? And we know the answer to that, but what is he willing to say about that, I think is going to be the big question mark, because obviously, Johnny, he's got the ties to Boise State. Obviously, we know he wanted that job. I remember the public campaigning before they hired Avalos, all the former players on social media saying they wanted Jeff Choate. I mean, I think Jeff Choate, aside from Spencer, is Jeff Choate the next coach you're looking forward to talking to the most on IST?
Gosh, let me double check here. Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I mean,
the new coaches, he's got Bronco blood. He bleeds blue, dude. And I don't remember the last leader of the Wolf Pack ever that bled blue. All of a sudden, there's BSU blood in Reno. Kane Ione as well, running their defense, was here. So very interesting there. Not also to, Choate's had success basically everywhere he's been, right? Think about this. Even head coach or position coach, he's always on good teams. I think, can he get Nevada? I mean, if they go 5-7, are we going to be saying, hey, maybe Jeff Choate did a hell of a job? Feels like it, but I just want to know what footprints Choate's going to bring in Reno. And yeah, absolutely. He's got Boise State on his mind, and every coach does in this league. That's the benchmark. That's the flagship. They're always in the front. So Choate's got some very interesting things in Reno, and we all know Reno is interesting to Boise State fans if it gets rolling. And Jeff Choate's track record tells me, BJ, sometimes you can bring a personality. We see it in college football when a new head coach comes in, and it's not about X's and O's. It's not about Jimmy's or Joe's. It's just about, lifeblood, personality, a guy, the right fit, and guys learn more, play better, and just work harder for a certain guy. Kind of have a feeling that Choate's gonna charge it up like that in Reno. Might not equal wins and losses this year. Yeah, but they're going to play solid football, BJ.
I wanted to wait and talk about this mostly on Tuesday, Johnny. I've got my Circa Sports app right here. We're going to talk about some of the, Mountain West betting odds in terms of winning the conference, CFP odds, some Heisman odds, all kinds of stuff. But you mentioned Nevada, and just to throw it out there, you mentioned 5-7 would be a good season, Johnny. They're over/under in Vegas at Circa 2.5.
It's just 2.5, huh? Yeah.
Same for New Mexico, by the way. New Mexico is 2.5, and you can get plus 135 on over 2.5 wins for Bronco Mendenhall at New Mexico. Plus 135 to go 3-9.
3-9. It feels like to me, can Bronco Mendenhall elevate New Mexico to play at a Colorado State level? Okay. Could he ever elevate New Mexico, Bronco Mendenhall, to a Craig Bull, Wyoming level? Can you go 7-5, 8-5, 6-6, 7-6, be competitive, win a couple of big games here and there? For me, I think if you get the right coach, you're not going to win 10 games if ever in a season, but can you do what teams like Wyoming do when they win 6, 7, maybe 8 games with a bowl win every year? Those schools we're talking about, can they elevate from, the absolute bottom of the barrel, BJ, to just get in that mid-level neighborhood? And if they do, it's going to make the Mountain West a lot better. And what better coach could you ask for at a place like New Mexico than a dude like Bronco Mendenhall? Seems like a good fit there too, BJ. Also, me.
I'm just still surprised he took that gig, man.
Right? Yes. She's going out with him. What? Seriously?
I mean, I can't be paying very much, and I guess he has a lot of money in the bank from Virginia and from BYU, but I can't imagine they're paying a whole heck of a lot down there and the facilities and things. I mean, if he wanted to get back into coaching, I would have thought Bronco Mendenhall could have found a better gig. But we'll see. That's going to be a tough gig down there, but you're right. Maybe it is a fit from that perspective. Again, they were 4-8 last year, 2-6 in conference. Nevada was 2-6. They were 2-10 overall last year, 2-10. But one intriguing one, I mentioned Ken Niumatalolo, San Jose State. Now that they lost their coach, not because they were bad, because their coach went for bigger and better things at Arizona, with Brent Brennan leaving to go back to his alma mater, I believe, or at least his wife's alma mater. They're going to the Big 12. And so Ken Niumatalolo, the longtime Navy coach, comes in. Don't believe he's going to run the triple option at San Jose. No. But just your thoughts on Ken Niumatalolo. I mean, that at least is another name coach coming into the conference here.
Yeah, dude. It's San Jose State doing what it hasn't done. Hire a big name guy. I mean, in this case, literally and figuratively, right? In Niumatalolo. And I love this hire, but I look at San Jose State and Brent Brennan massively overachieved. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Absolutely. Like, I'm not just going to sit here and think like, oh, okay. Yeah, I think Brennan set it up where Niumatalolo's going to come in. He's going to run an unfamiliar offense, whatever. I don't think that's going to be a huge deal, and he's just going to kind of pick up where Brennan left off and then live in that upper mid-level Mountain West neighborhood and win 6-7 games and go to New Mexico Bowls and stuff like that and live in that college football world. I don't know if I buy that with Niumatalolo there in San Jose, BJ. And I look at the reason Brent Brennan is at Arizona right now, BJ, it's quarterback play. He won a Mountain West with Starkle at quarterback, who was the SEC transfer, was a really good Mountain West quarterback. And then he picks up Chevin Cordero and gets him for multiple seasons. San Jose was good in this league because they had excellent quarterback play in this league, upper echelon quarterback play. I'm not certain where they're going to go this year. If they can keep just San Jose State a revolving door of upper echelon Mountain West quarterbacks, all these things got to go into the crock pot, BJ. And I'm just thinking, not sure I buy that necessarily. I like the hire for San Jose, but I'm not high on them this year.
San Diego State's another intriguing one for me. Sean Lewis did some really good things at Kent State, surprised some people when he left a head coaching job to be the OC under Deion Sanders at Colorado. That obviously didn't go great. He got removed of the play calling duties at some point, I believe. I mean, it just kind of was an interesting situation there. He gets a nice rebound. San Diego State, Sean Lewis seems like a great fit for me. I've always wondered, at least in the last, number of years. I mean, San Diego State's had some good seasons, but not like elite great seasons for the most part. And I've always wondered why they couldn't never really get it rolling like basketball and just be one of the top group of 5 teams every year with what you can recruit to. And now you've got the new stadium and there's just so much going for them down there. I really think it may not be this year, like you said, where they're going to all of a sudden win 10 games their first year. But I think Sean Lewis is a really strong fit. And I think San Diego State will be a team, to be reckoned with in the Mountain West here before too long.
That's a good hand. If this is a poker game and all the Mountain West programs are sitting at the table and you're dealt Texas Hold'em 2 cards, San Diego State's got a playable hand. You're raising pre-flop with that hand, right? You're eliminating the jokers. And I think San Diego State can do that. I'm really interested in Sean Lewis because I don't know, man. I don't know if he's just going to be the next in line and they're going to miss again on quarterback or offense, whatnot. And who knows, maybe now the defense suffers and the defense isn't as good. Now, all of a sudden, San Diego State doesn't bring that reputable defense to the table every year because they have an offensive philosophy-based coach. I don't know how all this stuff works, man, but I like the hand they're dealt. I think you can win there. You're so right about San Diego State, too, because they've had pretty good years, BJ. But in college football, it's about being in the conversation. It's about sitting with the cool kids, man, wearing your Jordans, eating your Lunchables, drinking your Squeeze-Its in the middle school lunchroom. That's where you want to be. And at the end of the year, who's in the mix for the G5 bid to the CFP or the G5 bid into the New Year's Six. San Diego State's never been in that conversation, right, BJ, where they've knocked on that door, but they've been pretty darn good. Now, can Sean Lewis get them in that conversation where it's not just, okay, at Boise State, they might go to the CFP out of the Mountain West, but no one's pumping up any other team to do it. Mountain West needs to get to the point where they have 2 or 3 CFP contenders every year, like the American had it, where the American had the rep every single year almost, but it was a different team in a lot of years outside of a couple-year run from Cincy and UCF. A lot of those American teams, Houston, Memphis, they all got to play in a New Year's Six game. So can San Diego State kind of get in that conversation? I think they got the tools and the resources. Sean Lewis feels like the guy to me, but I'm just not 100% sure because, I mean, that's a program to me, you don't have an excuse to go 6-6 at San Diego State in this league with those resources.
And they do have an intriguing non-conference schedule, Johnny, but their over-under is 5.5 this year. Can San Diego State get to a bowl?
Do they have a brutal non-con? I mean, they
start off against Texas A&M Commerce.
Okay, that's a win. Oregon State, I mean, gosh, man.
At Cal, at Central Michigan. Hawaii, at Wyoming. They play Wazoo.
If Sean Lewis pops early, they can beat the Beavers in San Diego if it's 100 degrees. And I don't know about Wilcox at Cal. If they're 2-0 and feeling good about themselves and Sean Lewis has this thing buzzing on the beach, maybe they go up to Berkeley. And that would be a big win. Who knows?
I mean, I know nothing about Central Michigan, but they should be able to go to Central Michigan and win, you would think.
On the road at a perennial MAC power, the chips. I mean, that if you're going to be good, those need to be wins, man. And that's a reasonable schedule. We'll see if it pops early or not, BJ. If it comes down to the quarterback play, A.J. Duffy, I think, is penciled in as the starter down there. And, man, I don't know jack and I don't know squat about A.J. Duffy, man. We'll see.
What about Jay Sauvel taking over at Wyoming? Craig Bohl, kind of a surprise retirement. It came late in the process, a little later than you would typically think. It wasn't right after the season. Craig Bohl did a lot of great things there. Jay was already on the staff, kind of takes over there, and so a lot of the continuity remains. But Craig Bohl retiring, your thoughts there?
Yeah, they're going to play more offense, Jay Sauvel said. We talked to Phil Steele yesterday on Idaho Sports Talk about the Mountain West. BJ, he'll be on again today just talking about Boise State, but he loves Jay Sauvel. I mean, I asked him which one of the 7 first-year coaches next year pops. He went with Jay Sauvel at Wyoming. Like, he is buying in. I know, right? Over some bigger names and I think better opportunities. Phil Steele loves the Jay Sauvel thing in Wyoming. I mean, is he going to be able to take bull ball to another level? And stop farting around with 7-5 and 6-6 and 5-7, and that being the only place you really go. 8-4, 9-3, 8-4, 9-3, maybe ever in your once a decade get up to 10-2. Can Sauvel take him to that level? I would doubt that. I mean, does he take bull ball and lessen it? Is he not Craig Bohl? Probably not. Maybe that's a fair thing. Does Wyoming drop down a little bit and maybe give teams like we were talking before, the New Mexicos, the Nevadas, the Niamatalolo Spartans, all of a sudden a chance to move up in the standings a little bit because they're able to pick off Wyoming going through a interesting coaching transition? I don't know, BJ, but I've never, it feels to me, BJ, like the national reporters, they buy more in to Wyoming, I think, than the regional reporters. I think a lot of the reporters, the ones that have been covering the Mountain West and Mountain West football a long time, I think those guys, those reporters, they're less like, oh, watch out for Wyoming than it seems like maybe from the national perspective. But it'll be interesting to see what direction they go with Sauvel there. And I was never a huge Craig Bohl guy. I mean, he was solid. He was good at times. And they didn't win with Josh Allen at a high level. And maybe there were different things there, but that always bugged me about Craig Bohl. I mean, you had one of the, my God, on talent. I mean, anyway, we all know we've seen Josh Allen play, and you didn't get to that next level with him.
They knocked out Boise State. They killed Boise State's undefeated dream there with the butt fumble.
Boise State that night.
Yeah,
was it more Boise State? Wasn't there like a weird muffed punt or some safety? I can't remember.
The safety, and then the guy doing the dance, the safety dance. Remember the?
I mean, even though Josh Allen beat Boise State, I think the only time they've done so in the bowl era. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the only time. And I don't know. That always kind of stuck with me. Like, why didn't they do better with Josh Allen? But maybe he wasn't ready yet.
Do you get True TV?
Of course.
So do your Vandals have a chance to go in there on September 7th, 2:30 on True TV? And do you think the Vandals can take down Wyoming this year?
Do I think it's competitive? Maybe. I don't know, man. I mean, Nevada didn't even get in the red zone against Idaho last year. I mean, they went to Reno and completely embarrassed them. Now, obviously, Wyoming is nowhere near the depths of disaster that Nevada team was last year, but we'll see. I mean, hopefully Oregon doesn't knock 4 of their teeth out week 1 and they can't recover for Wyoming. I mean, that's always a tall task too. Vandals got to open up. They're going to warm up the Ducks for Boise State. Kind of odd how that works out.
6.5 is the win total for Wyoming there. 7-5 for Wyoming. I mean, that seems like a typical Wyoming season. 6-6 probably. So that's potato bowl.
And you don't get a bowl win on that. You don't get a Mountain Championship.
You can't count that. No.
12 games. In Hawaii's case or some other cases, I think there's a couple of teams that Nevada, by the way. No, Nevada plays 13 games this year, BJ, and their over-under is what? 2.5? They get that extra game.
Let's talk about the other 5 coaches that are, at least the 4 coaches that are the 5 coaches that are returning, and Spencer Danielson here in just a second. But first, Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors, pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. We appreciate our friends at Cutwater Spirits. A perfect drink for your next tailgate party as you get set for a football season. Our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Check them out, roepaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. Those concrete coatings, highly recommend them. Transform the look of that ugly concrete slab in one day with rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. The Tyson Degenhart Show, Season 2, off and rolling. We got big plans for Episode 2. Focus on 2 in the promo there. So stay tuned. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. The eBranch mobile online banking, so easy to use. Check it out at Idaho Central Credit Union. Lithia Ford of Boise, their anniversary sale is going on. Check them out for great deals. Next time you're looking to buy that vehicle, that Ford truck, check out Lithia Ford of Boise. Highly recommend them. Great deals. You can get that full inventory online at lithiafordboise.com, and they are huge supporters, maybe the biggest supporter of Boise State Athletics. So return the favor. Head to Lithia Ford for your next purchase, and make sure you tag us on social media with that photo. Let them know you purchased your vehicle in part because of their advertising on BNN. Taco Bell, we appreciate them as well. TacoBellWorks.com. Go take the family to Taco Bell. It's easy, it's quick, it's delicious food, it's cheap. TacoBellWorks.com. You get more information because they are hiring as well. You're looking for a job? Great promotional opportunities, benefits, free food. You get your paycheck, half your paycheck the very next day after your work. So get more information. Find a branch, location near you. And we appreciate, again, SON Management and the Nicolason family for their support of Bronco Nation News. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. They got all kinds of Boise State gear. We were talking to Travis Hawks on Monday. So check them out online, theblueandorangestore.com. You can make your order from anywhere in the world, or if you're in Boise, just go to the Boise Town Square Mall there, the second floor next to Pro Image. You looking for a job? How about the trucking industry? Transcomservice.com. Check them out. TCS, they can get you signed up for all the permits and things. You need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Check them out. Transportation Compliance Service. Ridley's Family Markets, 13 locations around the state of Idaho. You can find one near you. ShopRidleys.com. Love that Cuna location down there just past Johnny's house. And ShopRidleys.com. Star location is great as well. If you're heading up to McCall area for the 4th of July, don't just bring the empty cooler, stop at Ridley's, get your ice, your meat, everything for your weekend there at the McCall location. ShopRidleys.com again to find a location near you. And Matt Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher, and I saw firsthand why that is the case. Every step of the way, his team helped us, and could not have been an easier process to buy and sell our home. So check them out. Get more information online at our friends BoucherRealEstate.com. And Johnny, we are heading to Las Vegas next week. I can sign folks up for the Circa Sports Contest. $1,000 entry, which I know seems a little high, but hey, get a couple buddies. 4 guys. The guys that won the $1 million were 4 dudes that were friends from Detroit that each put in $250, and they combined to win the $1 million. So you can do it. Circa Sports. And again, $10 million winner take all to Survivor, $1 million guaranteed to the winner, but $6 million in prizes for the Circa Millions. Get some buddies together. And again, using our proxy, Tom Carroll, it is 100% legal in the state of Idaho. I get multiple people a week saying, hey, but it seems kind of shady, you know, is it legal? No, it is 100% legal using Vegas football proxy, Tom Carroll. You pay a small fee to Tom and his company. They go in and make the picks for you. You have to sign up in Vegas, but you can play anywhere in the world, and BNN, we can sign you up as well. So reach out to me if you're interested. We can sign you up while we're in Vegas next week for Media Days, and we're going back in August for the contest weekend. We can sign you up in August as well. We'd love for you to join us. I know Connor Johnstone, Johnny, he is entering this contest, and he is going to Vegas for contest weekend with BNN in August. I know the Draper family's talking about it. So we're going to go down and have some fun in Las Vegas in August for contest weekend. There's some open bar at the pool events, open bar hanging out with Derek. Johnny, you've done this, and I got to tell you, man, hanging out with Derek Stevens at an open bar, that could be fun. So those are 2 events that are going on down there in Las Vegas, some parties and kind of meet and greets with the senior staff and the owner there, Derek Stevens. You get to hang out by the pool. So sign up. We'd love to have you and support one of our bigger sponsors, Circa Resort and Casino. And again, we got to make sure they're getting their money's worth when they're picking us up in the limo at Media Days, Johnny.
I pulled a Tust. That was a little longer commercial break. Usually I don't do that. Looking forward to it. I don't remember the last time I went to Vegas and didn't stay at Circa. So trust me, they're getting bang for their buck with BNN.
We got a weird timing today, so I had to just run through all the ads in one commercial break instead of 2. I am interviewing Leon Rice in 10 minutes, Johnny. That's going to be on tape, and I will play that next week. But I'm doing the Lindy's Magazine Mountain West previews, and the week after football media days, and we're getting ready for that TBT game here in Boise, which you're going to be a part of. We're going to have interviews with the Mountain West basketball coaches. We're doing football right now, media days, and then we got about 3 weeks before football camp starts. We're going to dive into a little Mountain West summer basketball as well. So I'll be interviewing Leon here in a few minutes. But Spencer Danielson, real quickly, Johnny, I think we talked about it, but I bet you he's going to be one of the favorite coaches on Radio Row and one of the favorite coaches folks talk to. As long as they can get him to get up and move to the next interview on time, and he's one of those guys that'll just get talking, and you look up and he's 10 minutes late for the next interview. But I think Spencer will be one of the media favorites down there at Media Days.
It's funny, no coach is right on time. They're either early and can't wait to get the hell out of there, or they love talking about their program and they're willing to give you as much time as you want, right? There's not really that one guy. Now, this is when the SID, Sports Information Director skills, come into massive play. Patrick Walsh, we haven't known him a long time, but we've known him a couple years now since he got the gig. He'll be right on Spencer's tail, man.
He'll be in the back telling the radio station, all right, let's go. We got the next one to get to.
Yes, but you hit the nail on the head with that one. I mean, the Vegas guys, the Fresno guys. I mean, Fresno radio listener is going to hear the Danielson interview, and of course, and they should just hate everything about Boise State, can't stand them. Then they're going to hear their coach talk, and they're going to be like, oh, they're going to want to like him. That's where they come up with the term. He kills you with kindness. Like Spencer Danielson has that quality, right? He's going to go into into foreign territory and all these other Mountain West fan bases on radio shows, on podcasts, talking to local reporters, everything. I mean, these guys, it is truly a dog and pony show. And this is just the Mountain West. I can't even imagine, BJ. Did you ever cover a Big 12 Media Day?
I did as a student reporter in college. Yeah. But it's even grown in the last 15, 20 years as being absolutely much bigger. I mean, they're doing it at Allegiant Stadium this year. I mean, come on.
That's where the Big 12 is. It's at Allegiant Stadium.
Yes.
Where the Raiders play. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, so these guys, they have to go here and there and here and there. And it is a massive busy morning. They get maybe 20 minutes to stop and they eat and they chat and all that stuff. But Yeah, a lot of these fan bases. San Diego State Sports Radio, our guys down there, John Schaefer, shout out. He'll have Danielson on. He's probably never heard Danielson talk or certainly never interviewed him. And they're going to finish that segment and they're going to say, hey, okay, I like that dude. That'll be interesting, man, because Boise State's always had, I almost want like Star Wars music behind me for, the Empire. And it's like Darth Vader or the Emperor and Chris Peterson, Darth Vader, Brian Harsin, kind of close. I think Hars had my favorite media quote ever. Probably you, BJ. Bronco, who was it? Not Bronco Mendenhall. San Diego State, BJ. Rocky Long said something about, the mystique is gone and all this. And then BJ hears that. So BJ beelines it. And I remember he was running. He was like jogging over to Coach Harsin.
I don't jog very much.
Oh, by the way, Rocky Long just said that, the blue doesn't have the mystique anymore. And Harsin drops the line. He said, well, at least we have our own stadium. Okay. And that was when San Diego State was playing where the Chargers played. And it was just like, boom, Mike Tyson, kidney shot, and then up with the uppercut. And it was just like, at least we have our own stadium. Like, why is this guy even talking? He doesn't even have a stadium. So anyway, that was fun. Media days, that stuff happens. And Spencer Danielson, BJ, and they're going to fall in love with Jonah too. I hope a lot of those stations, and I could get it, is San Diego Sports Radio going to say,
Boise State kicker
on the other side of the break. He's chasing an all-time record on the blue. We're going to talk to the Boise State kicker, Jonah Dolmas, back on the other side, San Diego Sports. No, I just –
fan, 95.3.
The fan, the ticket, or the score. That's all we are, man. Every town has a fan, they have a ticket, and they have a score. I don't know. I mean, if it's –
by the way, Jonah Dolmas, what'd you think? I told you they're trying to work something out at Stadium Swim where maybe we can get Jonah Dolmas out there to do some sort of kick.
Really?
Did you hear this?
I didn't hear this.
What you watching yesterday? I thought you always watch BNN.
I come and go. I got stuff to do.
All right, you know me. I always got crazy ideas. You know me. I always got crazy ideas. When I said this yesterday, but when I saw Jonah Dolmas was coming to media days, I texted Derek Stevens. Yeah, I texted the owner of a casino. I texted Derek Stevens, and I said, hey, Boise State is sending their I know we're
casino owner texted. I'm going to add that one. Casino owner texting. All right. Anyway, so sorry I interrupted you. So what's Jonah going to do?
I told him, I texted Derek Stevens and I said, hey, Boise State is sending their kicker to media days. He's only 18 field goals away from the NCAA record. Maybe you could do something fun with him out at Stadium Swim. And his mind started churning. My mind started churning. We exchanged some texts on some ideas, and they're trying to work it out where whether it's from one side of Stadium Swim to the other, whether it's from the parking garage behind Stadium Swim, kicking it into the pool, they're trying to get something big for Jonah Dolmas to make it go viral. Jonah Dolmas, some sort of trick shot or some sort of kick or kicks outside at Circa. What do you think?
Well, I want to add to it. By the way, after this, just like you did with Joe Buck, why don't you float me Derek Stevens' number? I want to add on this. I do have a suggestion.
Let's set the story straight on that. If it's going to be like it was for Joe Buck, we're going to be at a restaurant when I'm not paying attention and I've had a few too many cocktails. You're going to take my phone and then steal the number and text it to yourself.
BJ, you showed it to me, so I memorized it. Anyway, yeah, you were like, okay, you got 6 seconds. Boom, and you were like, there.
I don't know if that's how it went down.
I have a cat on my phone. Did I just
Johnny's
lose?
Johnny's been known to take a number or two out of someone's phone when you're not paying attention. All right, I'm going to stand by that story. But what do you think? Would that go viral?
Yes. Here's what I want to add to it. I like the idea of Jonah kicking the football into the pool. If you catch that football, you get $1,000. Derek Stevens, I mean, this would make Sports Center. You have everybody in the pool. Jonah Dolmas is kicking whatever, and whoever catches it, and there's plenty of people there to see if it was actual a catch or if he didn't catch it on the fly or she didn't catch, if it jumped, right?
Oh, you can have people fight over each other, pushing people.
I mean, how big a deal is there really going to be? Oh, I got him going to run and catch a football, but whoever is there, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it would be a massive deal. Just thinking about that, like some type of deal, like he kicks it into something. But I do like that idea. I like that coverage. Make kicking cool. And I know that's a challenge. Kickers aren't the cool kids, but Jonah has this je ne sais quoi, if you will, BJ, where he makes kicking cool. So if they can do that in any way, shape, or form in Vegas to say, yeah, I know we brought our kicker, but he's going to kick more field goals than anybody who's ever played this sport. And he's a really cool dude, and he likes to have a lot of fun, and the camera stinking loves him.
Yeah.
Play off that. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think across the street at the Garage Mahal parking garage would be kind of cool. They're working on it. We'll see what they can do. Johnny, in the final minute or two, we got Troy Calhoun, Jay Norvell, Jeff Tedford, Timmy Chang, Barry Odom, the 5 quote-unquote returning head coaches here. Of those 5, kind of summed up into one answer here. Who are you looking forward to catching up with? You're a Barry Odom guy, aren't you?
Of course, number one, Barry Odom. I mean, if you listen to Idaho Sports Talk, you know the relationship me and Mike Prater have developed with Coach Odom. As they say in the world, whatever, they hit it off, right? We just hit it off with Barry Odom, and he had that year last year. So no question, Barry Odom is number one on my list. I'll say this, like Tedford, bless his heart, probably the best coach in the Mountain West. Yeah. He's cold. He's kind of cold and prickly with the media. Have you noticed that? Anyway, yeah. So Tedford's not, and I don't think
say much. He doesn't say much to you and doesn't give you much at all.
Yeah. But who else? I mean, Norvell's cool.
Same with Troy Calhoun, kind of too. Nice guy, doesn't say a whole lot.
Yeah, I've got Calhoun going sometimes though.
Okay. You can do that.
Sometimes you can get him on topics like the portal and just the nonsensical crap that is infiltrated college football. And Troy Calhoun doesn't have it. He like, it's
Timmy Chang. What about Timmy? You seem like you'd be a Timmy Chang guy.
I remember typing in Timmy Chang's name 4 straight years to my favorite video game and him being really good. Was he throwing to what? Ashley Laley? Do you guys remember that receiver?
Yeah.
Was that Timmy Chang's man on the island? I love Timmy Chang as a player. I just think Hawaii, I mean, they're dealt at the Mountain West game of poker. They're dealt a 2-7. So I don't know how the hell they can do anything with the hand they're dealt. In my Mountain West media poll, BJ, I'd have to double check, but I'm fairly certain I picked Hawaii last in this league, and I like their quarterback. But I just don't win.
I'm up against the clock here because I got to do the interview, Leon. What do you got on Idaho Sports Talk today? You mentioned Phil Steele talking Boise State.
Yeah, Phil Steele on Boise State, right? Period. End of story. His thoughts on how, I'll tell you, I'll tease one bit. We all know Phil Steele's going to pick Boise State to win the Mountain West. He flat out already did in his magazine. But I want to know by how much. How much is Boise ahead of the field in the Mountain West this year? Phil Steele talks to basically every coach in America for however long he does. He knows each and every team. So it'll be interesting to see what his perspective is on just how big a favorite Boise State is. We'll do that today on Idaho Sports Talk and wish everybody a happy and safe, BJ, 4th of July.
Yeah, no show tomorrow for 4th of July. No show on Friday as well. Going to give Jay Tuss the morning off, and then we'll go hit it hard starting Monday. Full week of Media Days coverage. Looking forward to next week. So enjoy the 4th of July. We'll talk to you Monday morning, and then to get you set for what's going to be a really, really fun week down in Las Vegas. But again, kick it off with Idaho Sports Talk, 3 to 6 today with Phil Steele. Johnny, appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for the comments and for watching. Go tell your friends. Subscribe if you can. And looking forward to getting back to the daily grind here real soon with football season and media days. So have a great rest of your day. Go support the sponsors, many of which you see behind me. And we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.